Today I'm going to rank cards according to how useful they are, with the most useful cards in rank 1 and then the least useful cards in rank 5. Now it doesn't mean that rank 5 cards are absolutely worthless, right? It tends to depend on your manner of use as well as whether there are sign up bonuses for the card. But for today, I'm just going to rank them according to how useful they are. Now if you want to sign up for any of these cards, head over to satisfy.com/cards where you can find attractive sign up rewards for most of these cards. And I can't possibly rank every single card, but I've tried to pick out as many mainstream cards as I can. If I left out any cards, right, let me know in the comments below and I'll rank them accordingly. I'm starting off with American Express, Bank of China and Citibank cards first, and the first will be Chris Flyer, the blue card, which is the basic one. And I'm going to put it in rank 5, right? It's not because it's a worthless card, right? It's just because it gives only 1.1 mile per dollar per, for eligible transactions. And it doesn't really have much in terms of other features. Now, if there is a good sign-up reward, which there is right now, right, you can consider getting it. But otherwise, it is in rank 5, not that useful a card. Citi Cashback, I think, will be in rank 2 because it gives a pretty generous 6% on things like groceries as well as dining. And it used to be rank 1 easily because it was 8% on groceries. So yeah, after its nerf, I think it now falls to rank 2. Yeah, so rank 2 card there. Bank of China family card, I think it's a rank 3 card. It's pretty useful because it gives its cashback rate on things like card up and iPayMy transactions. And after subtracting the fees for these services, you still can get some cashback from it. So it's a very situational card, and I think situational cards tend to fall under rank 3. The next card is Bank of China Elite Miles, which is pretty horrible. It's 1 mile per dollar, right? It launched at 1.5 many years ago, but yeah, now it's just 1, and it's, yeah, pretty pointless. The banking interface sucks, okay, and I heard a lot of complaints about the back end. Yeah, so I signed up for it. I used the lounge access, and then yeah, never used it ever again. Citi Cashback, I think solid tier 5 card, right? 1.6% is not exciting, and then you have to redeem the cashback in blocks of $10. Troublesome, and there are much better cashback cards than this. Citi Rewards, I think tier 1 card right now, right? 4 miles per dollar is the highest earn rate, and you can pair with Amex and get 4 miles per dollar nearly anywhere. And yeah, to Citi's credit, they have not nerfed this for the longest time. So it's still tier 1 as long as this combo exists. Citi SMRT card, I think is tier 1. I wanted to put in tier 2 because 5% is not that exciting. But for cards that can give high amount of rewards for large expenses, there are very few cards that can do it right now. And I think Citi SMRT is one of the few survivors, right? It has no monthly cap. It instead has an annual cap of 12,000 a year. So you can just use it, buy online stuff, 10,000, 12,000 and get 5% on the whole thing. So it's very unique in that sense, right? No other card can do what it does. Yeah, so tier 1 card quite easily. Amex True Cashback, I struggle to see whether it's a tier 2 or tier 3 card. I think the earn rate is a little bit low for it to be tier 2, right? But the first 6 months, you actually get 3% upsize cashback. So that will actually land in tier 2 for me. Yeah, but the thing is, after the first 6 months, it's going to drop back to 1.5%. But there are, again, very few cards that does what the Amex True Cashback does, right? Give 1.5% cashback on things that don't normally earn cashback, like insurance, utilities, etc. The downside is, of course, is the American Express card. Not many places accept American Express. So yeah, I think it's a tier 2.5. I'll put it in tier 2 for now. Citi Prestige is a tier 1 card for me. It gives you your 4th night hotel free. It gives you unlimited priority pass access plus 1 guest. And also it gives you free limo rides when you hit a certain amount of spend per quarter. So the usefulness of this also depends on how good Citi Payout promos are. And the recent Citi Payout promo I know is not as fantastic as previous ones, but I think there's still a lot of value to be gotten from the Citi Prestige card because of its other features. You can actually recoup your annual fee if you stay at hotels expensive enough such that the 4th night pays off most of your annual fee. The sign-up bonus is also usually very good. So yeah, still a tier 1 card in my books. I've earned a lot of miles with the Citi Prestige card for the past couple of miles that I've had it. This video is brought to you by Shop Hero by Sid Lee, and this is a perfect app to sponsor this video because you might be seeing all these credit cards and wondering, how the hell are you going to keep up with all these cards? But the app actually shows you the best credit cards to use for each merchant that you're shopping at, so you don't miss out on high cashback and miles. Also, it locates deals and promos around you as well as online, so you don't miss a sale, so you can stack your savings with the high rewards that your credit cards are giving you. Now, it's an entirely free app, and you even get $5 e-capital voucher if you're one of the first 2,000 to sign up and register for a Shop Hero account. Right, use my referral code 773779, and this campaign will last between 2nd May to 20th May 2024. Thanks for signing up using my code, and also thanks to Shop Hero for sponsoring this video. Capital Card, wow, it used to be very useful because there were a lot of promos giving 10% rebate when you buy Capital vouchers. I don't really hear of that much anymore. I'm going to put it in tier 4. I think there's still some incidents where you will find this a much better card than other cashback cards. Okay, but aside from free parking perks and stuff like that, which don't really apply to me, yeah, I can't really see the usefulness for this card at the time being. Used to be a very useful card. Okay, I think right there may be a time where it shines again, but yeah, not now. At least not what I can see. Amex Ascend is a little bit difficult for me to place. If you're someone who wants KrisFlyer Go and you want it fast, right? I think it's one of the few cards that can give you a fast track there. So that would be maybe tier 1 or tier 2 for people who really want to be KrisFlyer Go. But for most other people, I think this card is possibly a tier 3 or tier 4, right? You are paying an annual fee for its free hotel night as well as 4 lounge passes, which is a pretty fair deal. I wouldn't say it's super fantastic, okay, unless you are given other sign-up perks like free miles, which usually does come with. So I would say just the card features itself, it's probably about tier 4, right? You're paying for a hotel night stay as well as the lounge access. Earn rate is not fantastic, so yeah, it's at most a tier 4 card. But if you want the KrisFlyer Go, I think you can bump it up to tier 2 or tier 3, depending again on the sign-up bonus. Now, Amex High Flyer card is an interesting one. It would have been tier 5 or at best tier 4 a couple of months ago. But now that Snap has disappeared, right, from existence, the only way to get miles, I think, is, yeah, High Flyer card, which gives 1.8 miles, which is still better than 0 miles for your hawker meals, right? And also, it also gives its earn rate on private hospitals where most other cards don't, and certainly not at 1.8 miles per dollar. Yeah, so I think it's a tier 3 card now for very situational situations where other cards fail and this card gives 1.8, which is pretty high. But you do need to be a business owner, so that really quite limits the number of people who can sign up for this card. And another very difficult card to place would be the Amex Platinum Charge card. I'm going to put it at tier 3, right? Because it does give a lot of nice perks, but you're obviously also paying for it, right? $1,744 annual fee for a whole bunch of vouchers, statement credits, etc. So if you don't utilize the statement credits and the vouchers well, this card is tier 5, right? You're just paying an annual fee for nothing. And if you do maximize it, okay, I think it actually allows you to access a lot of nice experiences. For example, it upgraded me to Hilton Gold. I don't stay at the hotels that often for me to be in a loyalty program, but Hilton Gold give me free breakfast, so that's quite a nice thing. Aside from that, okay, there are of course a lot of other perks which I'll go into in a separate review, which I have promised for the longest time. Yeah, but it's very difficult for me to really value this card, and I think they do it deliberately, lah. Right? So I would say it's rank 1 if you really make use of all the card features, which is actually quite a difficult thing to do. Rank 5, you don't make any use of it. And for most people, it's just going to be, yeah, it's pretty okay at rank 3 if you can afford the annual card fee. And to close off these 3 banks, right, Citi Premium Miles, I think is actually tier 3, right? Unexciting earn rate, sure, but it is a free card, right? Annual fee can be waived very easily. Gives you free priority pass lounges, and you can also participate in Citi Pay or promo. So yeah, it's a pretty solid card for a 1.2 miles per dollar card. And moving on to our next 3 banks will be CIMB, DBS, and DCS. Right, and I'm going to start off with the most obvious choice. DBSU is tier 1, right? It is 17.5% rebate. You can't find a card that gives much better rewards than this. You can't even find cards that give close to this amount of rewards. But of course, the catch is you need to spend $600 on U merchants, which you may not shop very often at. But if you do, right, this is 17.5% rebate. DBS Live Fresh is actually quite interesting. I'll put it at rank 3 because it's a rather situational card right now. It gives a pretty high 6% cashback for shopping, and a minimum spend of $800 is required, which I find not to be the most useless of cards, because if you do have some shopping to be made in a particular month and you can spend $800, 6% is actually a pretty high earn rate, and most other cards, cashback cards at least, might not be able to handle $800 of spend and give you 6% cashback. CIMB World Mastercard gives 1%, 2% for certain categories. Yeah, just not very exciting. You can just get a normal 1.5% cashback card and basically get most of the rewards without having to worry about what categories you spend. Right? If I had to worry about categories I'm spending on, it better be 5, 6% and not just 2% cashback. CIMB Visa Infinite, right? If you can qualify at $120,000 annual income, right? Yeah, you can just get it and get free lounge access, and the card is free for life, so it's actually a pretty good card to have. for free lounge access forever. Yeah, so actually a tier 4 card. Not the most exciting, but not entirely useless. DBS Vantage, I think, is a solid tier 2 card. It gives 1.5 miles per dollar, which is one of the highest in terms of without having to worry about requirements and categories. It also gives you 10 lounge visits a year, which is actually pretty useful if you are bringing in a large group of family and friends to the lounge, right? Even cards like City Prestige gives unlimited, but only for one guest each time. Whereas DBS Vantage, you can bring your whole village in, and it is quite uniquely useful in that sense. Also, it gives you a fee waiver if you hit $60,000 of spend per year, and that can be done with some workarounds, right? Okay, refer to the link below in my description box for more details. And if you can hit the fee waiver, it's actually a very, very good card because it comes with free hotel stay every year as well. So you hit $60,000 of spend every year, you get free hotel stay, 10 lounge visits, and one of the highest miles earning card that doesn't require categories. So pretty solid tier 2 card in my books. DBS Taka, I think, is a tier 5 card, unless you really short a lot at Takashimaya, which I guess then is a tier 1 card because it gives, I think, 6% cashback for Taka purchases, right? But it has a very good sign up reward right now, which makes it worth signing up for, right? Check out the details in my description box, right? I think it's $150 cashback for $250 spent. So that's a very highly subsidized shopping spree you can go on at Takashimaya. Otherwise, it's just, pretty unexciting card. CIMB Visa Signature is either a tier 3 or tier 4 card, and I'm leaning towards tier 3, okay? Because if you can actually meet its requirements of spending on pets, spending on groceries, etc., right? It gives you 10% cashback. The only thing is that it is too restrictive because of the various sub-limits imposed on each category, meaning to say you must spend just nice $200 on groceries, $200 on pets, $200 on beauty and wellness, and then meet $800 of spend before you can actually hit the 10% cashback rate. But if you really can meet that, then 10% cashback is very, very good. But I think most people can't unless you're really spending very nice amounts on groceries, the different categories that it offers each month, which is quite tough for most people. DBS Women's World Mastercard, I think tier 2, right? It gives 4 miles per dollar on $1,500 of spend. It used to be much better, of course, at $2,000 capacity each month, which makes bigger purchases possible. At $1,500 is not completely useless, but it is, quite limiting because 1,500, obviously not as high as 2,000, right? So still a tier 2 card. Very few cards can give 4 miles per dollar on purchases up to $1,500 online. So tier 2, maybe tier 3, I think is, I find myself not using the card that much anymore. DBS Altitude, I think it's a tier 4 card, right? It used to give 3 miles per dollar on hotels and airlines, and now no more, right? So the only thing it has going for it is that it's a free card that has free priority pass lounges, 2 visits each year. Other than that, pretty unexciting card. DCS cashback card, pretty interesting. I'm going to put it in tier 3 again because Snap is not a thing right now, and this card, I think you can actually make payments to hawker stores and get 5% cashback, so that might be a replacement to Snap. It requires $400 minimum spend each month, and if your hawker food can meet the amount, then great, this card might even be a tier 1 or tier 2 for you. But if you can't hit $400 on just hawker stores, then you need to find places that accept diners card, which is actually a very small list here in Singapore. So might not be able to hit the minimum spend, and then it's not a very useful card to have. Stay subscribed to my Telegram group for more great deals and content, and also check out the next part where I talk about OCBC, UOB, Stand Chart credit cards and more in the next video, and I'll put it up here when it's ready, so see you in that video.